world. Federal government tasked states on anti-corruption strategies. Education Minister unveils 365 million naira annual award for academic research excellence. On the foreign scene, 14 newborn babies die in Pakistan hospital inferno. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on News Around the World here on BCOS television. I am Idowu Shekoni. In the sign language corner is Korede Oluleye. The federal government has urged the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to develop and implement homegrown anti-corruption strategies, saying effective action at the sub-national level is essential to improving transparency, accountability, and public service delivery. The call was made on Wednesday at a 3-day workshop on the implementation tools for the Plateau State Integrity and Accountability Strategy, PLACIAS, which commenced in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, represented by the head of the National Anti-Corruption Secretariat, Mrs. Victoria Ojogbane, commended the Plateau State government for advancing the implementation of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, saying only 7 states had so far commenced the process. She said Plateau had gone beyond developing its strategy by preparing an action plan that was due for validation on August 28, 2026. According to her, state-level ownership remained critical to translating the national strategy into practical reforms. The federal government has launched 100 electric mass transit buses for federal civil servants as part of efforts to ease transportation challenges, improve workers' welfare, and enhance productivity. The buses were launched and commissioned on Wednesday at Eagle Square, Abuja, with the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, HOCSF, Mrs. Didi Wilson-Jack, describing the initiative as a major milestone in the government's efforts to improve the welfare of civil servants. The first phase of the program involves 37 buses out of the 100 electric buses approved under the Renewed Hope Mass Transits program. Wilson-Jack described the commissioning as a parting gift to federal civil servants, coming less than 24 hours before the end of her tenure as head of the civil service. According to her, the intervention would enable workers to save money, reduce commuting risks, and arrive at work with more energy to deliver quality public service. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, has charged senior commanders of the Nigerian Army to demonstrate strategic foresight, professional competence, and exemplary leadership in confronting the increasingly complex insecurity facing the country. The COAS gave the charge today while declaring open the second Senior Command and Leadership Seminar 2026 at Headquarters 1, Division Nigerian Army, Kaduna. He stated that contemporary military success depends not only on battlefield superiority, but also on credibility, public confidence, and effective leadership. He noted that terrorism, insurgency, banditry, transnational organized crime, cyber threats, disruptive technologies, and information warfare have continued to reshape the security environment. The COAS therefore urged commanders to remain intellectually agile and operationally innovative while exercising sound judgment in conditions of uncertainty. You're watching News Around the World on BCOS television. We pause for a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
If you see the body, you pray for me. I'm gonna move our body dangerously. You done make my heart go, body and soul. Eyes do they go, eyes do they go. Oh yeah, make with us now. Yes, yeah.
Morning, everyone. Here's to a tough day Here's to living the creamy and delicious life.
We go dance until the morning light. Everything is feeling right tonight. Baby.
Have a puff party with Puff Cafe.
Excuse me, ma. It's your 100% Babe, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rent, I save for this one separately on money points.
No. You say you save on money points? Yes. This madam money points here. The array of your dryer there is charging savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is this savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
What's up? Why did I don't contribute to you? What should I? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to save. You see money point accounts there. You don't go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my room. Oh, you bring out your phone and download the money point app now. Even you. What are you waiting for?
Download the Money Point banking app now. And start saving with the bank you can trust.
Money Point, made for your progress.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys.
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Dirty and stains don't be do a shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go wipe.
Germs always find a way back.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
Every morning is a good time to show love in the way that matters. And showing love begins with breakfast, the first gift of the day to you and your loved ones. Not just any breakfast, but one made with pig milk because it contains vitamins, proteins, and calcium to keep you nourished and ready for the day. Breakfast is love. Show it every morning with the nourishing goodness of Peak evaporated milk.
Peak, reach for your peak.
Welcome back. The federal government has unveiled the 365 million naira annual National Laureate Prize to reward outstanding academic research, innovation, and intellectual excellence across Nigeria's universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, unveiled the initiative today in Abuja. He described it as part of efforts to reposition tertiary institutions from predominantly certificate awarding centers into hubs of research, innovation, enterprise, and national development. Dr. Alausa added that the prize was designed to give national recognition and tangible rewards to scholars and students whose academic work could address Nigeria's development challenges or be translated into commercial ventures. The minister said special prizes would also be awarded in strategic fields, including engineering and technology, medicine and health sciences, arts and social sciences, agriculture, law, and teaching innovation. The incorporation of students in teachers' social media content is growing in popularity, with many classroom videos garnering thousands to millions of online views. Some perceive it as an inventive way to exhibit learning, yet others have expressed significant concerns about privacy and informed consent. Our reporter, Fedora Folagboye, spoke with news school owners and parents to hear their views on the growing trend.
Classroom teachers are turning everyday moments into engaging online content, creating videos that not only entertain, but also promote schools and profoundly impact students' lives. At the same time, the trend has triggered diverse viewpoints among parents, educators, and members of the public. Some individuals are of the view that showcasing students in online content provides opportunities and highlights their talent, whereas others countered that minors should not be involved in content creation without explicit consent and adequate consideration for their privacy. As social media increasingly impacts the educational landscape, the controversy surrounding educators leveraging students for content generation persists, with disparate perspectives on appropriateness and liability. In an interview with BCOS News, a school proprietress, Dr. Victoria Akintoye, said teachers should exercise caution when using students for social media content and carefully consider the long-term implications. She emphasized the disapproval for engaging toddlers and preteens in content creation, pointing out that this age group often cannot fully understand the repercussions of their images and videos being shared on the internet.
Let's consider the age of the young ones, because in a decent society, there is a level would collaborate with the young ones, because for their age, they don't know the implication, except the adults who reason along with them. So, and I think as adults, that we hold the young ones that responsibility. They may want to go where they want to go, but we can also tutor their routes to make sure we protect their future and their image. Because one thing about image is if it's out, we can't retrieve, and we have to be careful in this age of social media.
Dr. Victoria also stressed the importance of informing parents about the potential reach of any content featuring their children, so they can make informed decisions before giving consent, as this would help prevent parents from being caught unaware if such content goes viral.
For anyone that will use young ones to create content, they must let the parents know the extent this thing could go. So that, and there must be contracts, they must sign contracts that, oh, I'm doing this, it can go to any level, the picture could go here, could be fixed, put as billboard, and so on. So if a parent consented to that, then that person is covered.
Some parents also share their views on the issue, explaining the reasons they would either allow or decline their children's participation in their teachers' social media content.
If it is today's social media that everybody is using, so they were using their children in a bad way that is not normal. But if it is in this education, on the line of education, I mean, it's okay.
It's a kind of, I believe that it's a kind of method of teaching that children, that teacher, sorry. It's a method of teaching to that teacher, because it's one of their characters they use in inculcating knowledge to those children. So it makes them learn fast, even more than just using mouth. So when you put a child into a practical aspect of learning, they learn faster. So by allowing them for content is an aspect of practical teaching.
As teachers continue to embrace social media, content creation, transparency and respect for children's rights should remain a priority. Fidora Afolagwe, BCOS News.
Electricity supply remains a crucial part of everyday life, with households, businesses, and other establishments relying on regular power to carry out their activities. While efforts are ongoing to improve power generation, transmission, and distribution, the availability of electricity continues to vary from one community to another. In this report, Oyeshilo Loyede examines residents' experiences and finds out whether electricity supply has actually improved in their areas.
Electricity is central to the daily activities of households, businesses, and other establishments, making a reliable power supply critical to economic and social activity. For years, inadequate electricity supply has remained a major concern for many Nigerians, with frequent outage disrupting businesses, household routines, and essential services. But with the ongoing effort to address challenges in the power sector, some consumers says they are beginning to notice changes in the availability and duration of electricity supply. Residents who spoke with BCOS News shared mixed experiences. While some says power supply in their areas has improved, others maintain the irregular supply and unexpected outage remains a challenge. For those who have noticed an improvement, longer hours of electricity supply have brought some relief, particularly to households and businesses that depend heavily on power for their daily operations.
Electricity in my area has improved. Before, it used to, within 2 months, we don't used to have electricity. But now, every day, we have electricity, uninterrupted electricity.
Electricity has been good in the University of Ibadan, especially Yaluri Traffic Hub. So we have light almost 24/7.
When I came back from school, I noticed because normally there's always light. So I noticed that lights are really stable.
However, others says improvement has been inconsistent with periods of better supply, sometimes followed by prolonged outage.
So actually bad because before you used to have good power supply. Because when I was in 100 level, you don't copy about light a lot, but now it is very bad.
Current electricity in my area is not that very good, but it was not like that before.
Beyond conveniency, the reliability of electricity supply also has financial implications for consumers, particularly households and businesses that depend on generators and other alternative sources of power when the public supply fails. For many residents, therefore, the issue is not just about having electricity, but having a supply that is stable, predictable, and sufficient to meet their daily needs. As efforts continue to address challenges in the power sector, residents say sustained improvement remains essential to reducing the cost of running businesses and improving quality of life. For now, while some communities appear to be expecting better electricity supply, the situation remains uneven, with consumers in many areas still hoping for more stable and dependable power. Oyeshile Oloyede, BCOS News.
Another timeout. News around the world. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Good to have you back. But for some people, it has come with years of assumptions, labels, and expectations, despite the fact that handedness is analytically examines the psychological implications and possible strengths associated with being left-handed.
For most people, the hand they use to write, eat, or perform everyday tasks is hardly something they think about. But for a left-handed person, that simple difference can sometimes attract attention and in some cases, unwanted opinions. In some cultural settings, left-handedness is wrongly associated with being rude, stubborn, spoilt, or even spiritually negative, leading some children to be repeatedly corrected or labeled simply for using the hand that comes naturally to them. While such comments may sometimes be dismissed as cultural expressions, experts say repeated correction or pressure to conform can have psychological implications, particularly during childhood. A metaphysician and Arole Arelatosa, Chief Mabinuri Adegboyega, who is himself left-handed, attribute some of the negative perceptions surrounding left-handedness to cultural beliefs.
When I was young, and they would say, you can't use it. They have to put paper on my head so that I can use this, but I find it very difficult. Not until now that I grew up. If you wrong a left-handed person and it costs you, nobody can work that cost off. But only few left-handed around now. I don't know why.
Chief Adegboyega observed that left-handed people are less likely to be singled out today than in the past, stressing that they deserve the same respect, acceptance, and opportunities as everyone else.
Those are here saying they don't know the meaning in metaphysics. Even culturally and traditionally, those who know Isheshe very well, they will tell you, don't play with that child. He's a special child from heaven. Use left hand to give me anything has no meaning. When the people around you want this and you follow them, then you are following them blindly. It is your job to think about it, and that's why we always advise students to read books. And some of the teachers are not knowledgeable to be able to understand that using left hand is a gift from God. If they are selling market now with left-handed, it will sell before those who have right-handed.
Speaking of the psychological dimension, a psychometrician, Afeez Akintunde, explained that forcing a child to abandon the naturally preferred hand may have psychological and developmental implications, particularly when the child is made to feel that being left-handed is wrong.
We often do not have a mechanism in place to train our left hand users that, yes, it's okay for you to use your left hand to do this and that, but you can use right hand to do that and those. They always meet them with aggressive correction, and this has a known effect on the brain functionality of those people. For instance, it is recorded that children that were forced from left hand to the right hand, they may get into what's called psychological confusion. The only disadvantage that is there is that it is culturally discriminative. People in the cultures, like in the African society, do not understand that there is nothing that a left-hand user can do that a right user will not be able to do.
The respondents stressed that handedness is a natural individual difference and should not be used as a basis for judging a person's character, intelligence, abilities, or moral standing. For left-handed people, they say, acceptance begins with recognizing that being different does not mean being deficient. Adeola Oladile, BCOS News.
You're still watching News Around the World on BCOS Television. We have yet another commercial break. Please don't go anywhere.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Many thanks for staying tuned. The Oyo State government has expressed deep sorrow over the passing of former Secretary to the state government, Alhaji Waheed Akintola Olajide, describing the loss as both shocking and painful. This was disclosed in a statement signed today by Special Advisor on Media to the state governor, Dr. Sulaiman Olariwaju. In the statement, the acting governor, Barrister Abdul Rahim Lawal, described the late SSG as a patriotic and dedicated leader who made significant contributions to the development of the state during his tenure. Barrister Lawal extended heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Olajide and prayed to Allah to grant his soul eternal rest. He added that the state would remain forever grateful for his service and commitment. Meanwhile, former secretary to the Oyo State government under the administration of the late Governor Abiola Ajimobi, Alhaji Wahid Akin Olajide, has been laid to rest, with dignitaries and Muslim leaders describing him as a committed public servant, religious leader, and philanthropist. Olajide, who died at the age of 76, was remembered for his integrity, humility, and contributions to the development of Oyo State and the Muslim community. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdul-Rafi was at the main center, or Man Center Okeado, where Muslim faithful from all walks of life gathered for his janaza prayer.
Born on June 21, 1950, Alhaji Wahid Akin Olajide was an educationist, publisher, technocrat, politician, Ibadan chief, religious leader, and philanthropist. He served as secretary to the Oyo State government from 2011 to 2013 under the late Governor Abiola Ajimobi. At his funeral, the Oyo State government, represented by the incumbent secretary to the state government, Professor Musiba Babatunde, described the deceased as a patriotic and dedicated public servant who contributed meaningfully to the administration of the state. Professor Babatunde said he had an encounter with the late former SSG about 3 to 4 months ago, during which late Akin Olajide shared useful insights on managing the office and maintaining effectiveness in public service.
I served between 2011 and 2013 with late Chief Abiola Ajimobi, and from the record that I met on ground, he happened to be a very just person, very dedicated to the cause of moving Oyo State forward. He gave his best while he was in office.
For Muslim leaders and clerics, however, the burial provided more than an opportunity to mourn. It became a reminder of the transient nature of life and the need for believers to prepare for the hereafter. In his exhortation, Imam Ansaruddin, Dr. Olanrewaju Bashir, urged Muslims to live righteous lives, stressing that death is inevitable and could come at any time. He also admonished believers not to delay repentance and to resist temptations that could lead them away from the path of righteousness.
We are not to be here till eternity. Definitely, since this world is a transcend passage for us to get to that eternal abode, eternal place, where we'll be relished, enjoying the best of the best till eternity. Why can't we focus on the way and manner we have to prepare ourselves so very well that it will please Allah by the time we return to Him, so that we will be placed in that the blissful abode of Al-Jannah.
The Wakilu Muslimi of Oyo State, Professor Kamil Koyejo Olosho, charged Muslims to remain upright in their religion and moral obligations, noting that being good to others is essential to earning the pleasure of Allah. Similarly, Dr. Dawood Amawalaga said, the challenges confronting Nigeria should not be an excuse for anyone to abandon righteous conduct, urging people to use the opportunity of life to prepare for the hereafter. Also speaking, the Chief Imam of Oyo, Barrister Alhaji Bilal Akinola, reminded the gathering that Allah rewards individuals according to their deeds. For the former Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Dr. Moses Alake, who served alongside late Akin Olajide, the deceased was not only a colleague, but also a close personal friend.
ilé ìtọ́lọ̀ wọn gba àmọ́ o lànàbí sọ̀rọ̀ sọ pé wà ní àmàlà sọ́ọ̀lì hàntàbà kí n ṣiṣẹ́ rí ẹ̀yọ kan tí wọ́n lọ́wọ́ yọ̀nù sí ẹnìkan ní hàn tún lọ tí e síbà ní kálámù ìtọ́lọ̀ yọ̀nù sí o ìwọ la mọ̀ ìtọ́lọ̀ ń wó yọ̀nù sí nù wa.
He's a very good man, a very humble and very amiable person.
At the funeral, family, associates, Muslim leaders, and other well-wishers paid tribute to a man they described as impactful, disciplined, and committed to his faith and community. For many of them, his legacy is reflected not only in the public offices he occupied, but also in the lives he touched and the institutions he helped to build. Late Alhaji Akin Olajide's contributions extended beyond government. He served as Managing Director of Universal Press PLC and the National President of the Muslim Association of Nigeria, MAN. He was also the founder of Sankore College, Ibadan, which he voluntarily handed over to the Oyo State government after his 78th birthday. As Alhaji Waheed Akinolajide takes his final journey, the tributes surrounding his life have also become a reminder of the enduring value of service, faith, integrity, and preparation for the hereafter. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
May his gentle soul rest in peace. We now go over to the sports segment of the news. Please stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment of the evening news. My name is Toby Ajowole.
Shooting Star Sport Club 3SC has unveiled its major sponsors for the 2026-2027 Nigeria Premier Football League season as the Oluyole Warriors prepare for a multi-front campaign. The announcement came on Wednesday at a press conference at the tennis court arena of the Lekon Salami Sports Complex in Ibadan. Executive Chairman Honorable Taiwo Lekon Salami outlined the club's ambitions just days before their season opener against newly promoted Inter Lagos on Friday. Shooting Stars will compete in the Nigeria Premier Football League and PFL, the President Federations Cup, and the CAF Confederations Cup this season. Salami welcomed the partnerships, saying both sides shared aligned visions and values that will work closely to deliver impact on and off the pitch. Femi Aluko, speaking for Chowder, called Shooting Stars one of Nigeria's biggest and most successful historic clubs, citing its achievements and large fan base. He noted his father had supported the side since his glory years in the 1970s and expressed optimism about the collaboration.
Only 3 stadiums were approved nationwide by CAF. That's Ibadan, Abeokuta, and Uyo. Okay. So those were the only 3 stadiums that CAF accredited that matches could be played for the competition. So we had to choose between one of the 3. And if you notice, 3 of the teams are qualified out of the 4. 2 of us are moving in Abeokuta.
Engineer Tolulope Ayondiran, representing the energy sponsor, confirmed a 5-year deal and pledged greater visibility and impact for supporters. Salami declared the club would target every available trophy and clear the air on the continental home ground of the club.
I was Jewish, and I thought, how can my daughter see our father on the pitch like this? So I just stopped playing football because I lost stamina. We look at the history of PSC and we discover that the mission or the trend of this particular club resonates and aligns with Prova's mission as well. You can imagine how a club of Ibadan can rise to the continental level. So we look at the history, we have a lot of big names that have, come out of this particular football club. In Prova's, this state, Oyo State, is our headquarters state. In Ibadan, we have over 50 petrol stations. So, PSC is also the pride of Oyo State, it's the pride of Ibadan, it's the pride of Nigeria, and it's the pride of Africa.
The chairman also outlined infrastructure plans, including a modern players' hostel with training and support facilities. The club has additionally agreed a player exchange arrangement with Spanish side Real Valladolid. Chief Operating Officer Buni Fadayomi thanked partners and supporters and announced a matchday ticket and official merchandise will be available at the stadium and online platforms. The sporting director Tobi Adepoju reported strong transfer activities, where 4 key players left for new opportunities, with the club generating revenue from 2 still under contract. 2 others departed as free agents, while quality replacements have already been signed. With new commercial partners, infrastructure ambitions and reinforced squad, the Shooting Stars head into the 2026-2027 season determined to reclaim a central place in Nigerian football. Their first test comes Friday against Inter Lagos. And in athletics, Nigeria's Koinsola Ajayi and Ezekiel Nathaniel have booked automatic qualification for the 2027 World Athletics Championship in Beijing as the qualification window opens. Ajayi clocked 9.94 seconds to win the men's 100 meters at the Silesia Diamond League in Poland, meeting the entry standard. The 21-year-old has already equaled the Nigerian national record of 9.84 this season, claimed the NCAA title and defeated reigning world champion Seville. Earlier the same day, Nathaniel ran 47.83 seconds in the 400 meters hurdles to secure his place. The 2026 Commonwealth Games champion and national record holder continues a strong international form. Their qualifications give Nigeria 2 confirmed spots, with more athletes expected to join as the window remains open. And back to football stories. Nigeria has been given a bye into the round 2 of the Under-23 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. They will face the winner of Mauritania vs DR Congo. Progress will set up a meeting with the winner of Burkina Faso vs Sierra Leone or Zambia for a place at the finals. And in beach soccer, Nigeria will meet Ghana in the second round of the Beach Soccer African Cup of Nations qualifiers, with the first leg slated from between 9th to 11th of October 2026 and the second leg between the 16th to 18th of October 2026. Senegal will host the tournament. Falani Sport News Tonight. European football governing body UEFA is preparing to lift its threat of boycotting FIFA competitions after receiving assurances that FIFA President Gianni Infantino's plan to sell stakes in the World Cup to private investors will not be revived. The issue will be discussed at UEFA's Executive Committee meeting in Monaco on Thursday. European associations had voted to boycott all FIFA events until the proposal was fully dropped and binding guarantees given. The move would allow the Under-20 Women's World Cup in Poland next month to proceed as planned, with England, France, Italy, Portugal, Spain and host Poland due to take part. UEFA is expected to continue pressing for broader changes in FIFA leadership.
And that will be all. And it's back to news around the world. My name is Toby Ajwali.
Thanks, Toby. At least 14 newborn babies have reportedly died following a fire outbreak at the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences Hospital in Islamabad, Pakistan. The fire, which broke out on the 3rd floor of the hospital's mother and child unit, reportedly trapped babies who were either in incubators or dependent on oxygen equipment, sparking concerns over the safety measures and emergency response at the facility. Foreign Desk Editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story and others, now presented by Khadija Lawal.
The fire broke out on the 3rd floor of the mother and child unit of the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences Hospital, one of the main state-run hospitals in the city today. An air conditioning unit caught fire, a spokesman for the hospital told the press. The babies in the ward were either in incubators or hooked on oxygen equipment, Pakistan's Health Minister Mustafa Kamal told the press. Oxygen is not flammable on its own, but it can accelerate a fire, making materials burn hotter and faster. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has suspended Federal Secretary of Health Aslam Ghauri, a top official in the health department, removing him from his post. The Prime Minister has been chairing a high-level meeting on the hospital fire and has expressed deep anger at some officials, the Information Ministry said. Eyewitnesses described chaotic and harrowing scenes at the hospital, including intense smoke and broken glass, with some complaining that rescuers were too slow to respond. Meanwhile, Nepal sent helicopters to the rescue after a huge flash flood swept away villages, killing at least 8 people and damaging roads, bridges, and power projects in areas near Tibet, authorities said. Officials said 384 tourists, including 291 from countries including the United Kingdom, the United States, India, and Malaysia, were reported missing as a result of the flash flood today. The waters were too high for helicopters to land in Nepal's affected areas of Siapur Besi and Timor in the mountainous districts of Rasuwa, with a population of about 50,000, officials said. District Administrator Narendra Pariya told the press that there could be heavy casualties or loss of property. Pariya urged those living on the banks of the Bot Koshi River in the area to seek higher ground, pointing to reports that nearby villages and infrastructure project sites were washed away. President Xi Jinping urged all out efforts to search for the missing and called for strengthening monitoring and early warning systems to prevent secondary disasters. Prime Minister Balendra Shah convened an emergency meeting of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Authority to take stock of the situation. And lastly, Israeli strikes have killed at least 7 Palestinians across Gaza, according to local media sources, in ongoing violations of a ceasefire that went into effect last October. 3 Palestinians were killed and others injured in a strike on a home in Beit Lahia, near Kamal Adwan Hospital, on Tuesday, a source at Al-Shifa Hospital said. Earlier in the day, a drone strike that hit a gathering of civilians killed a man in Khan Yunis al-Mawasi area and injured 3 others. 3 other Palestinians died from wounds they sustained in the earlier Israeli raids on Khan Yunis, according to the pressman. An Israeli military strike overnight into Tuesday also destroyed a warehouse storing nutrition supplies intended for children, pregnant women, and breastfeeding mothers in Gaza, Medical Aid for Palestinians, MAP, said. The warehouse belongs to Ad El Insan, a local humanitarian organization working with MAP to support about 60 medical points serving up to 100 women and children daily. The overnight explosion collapsed large sections of the building, including the roof and walls, burying the supplies under rubble, according to MAP, which said the entire stock was damaged and rendered unfit for human consumption. Khadija Lawal, BCOS News.
To end news around the world, here again are the top stories. The federal government has urged the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to develop and implement homegrown anti-corruption strategies, saying effective action at the sub-national level is essential to improving transparency, accountability, and public service delivery. The federal government has launched 100 electric mass transit buses for federal civil servants as part of efforts to ease transportation challenges, improve workers' welfare, and enhance productivity. Again, the federal government has unveiled a 365 million naira annual National Laureate Prize to reward outstanding academic research, innovation, and intellectual excellence across Nigeria's universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. And on the foreign scene, at least 14 newborn babies have reportedly died following a fire outbreak at the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences Hospital